everyone, thanks again for tuning in to Sin's Workshop. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about All of Us Villains by Amanda Foody and Christine Lynn Herman. Okay, I love this book. Freaking love this book. First of all, I love the foil stamping right there. Ooh. I love a good, well-designed hardcover. Freaking love this book. So the best way I can sum up this book is it's literally the Hunger Games meets the Triwizard Tournament. And that's not just me saying that. Literally one of the lines, one of the things they said, rather, when they were promoting this book was, "You've met the victors of the Hunger Games. Now fall in love with the villains of Blood Veil." That's literally what it says. Or it says, "You love the victors of the Hunger Games. Now fall in love with the villains of Blood Veil." Basically, it literally does make the comparison of, hey, everyone, we're doing something a la Hunger Games. Not that the Hunger Games was the first one to do that concept either. But I freaking loved it. It's basically the Hunger Games meets the Triwizard Tournament, if I were going to do a dual comparison. It really is. It follows 4 characters. And, okay. So this is what the story is. The story, takes place in the town of Ilvernath. Someone in this town publicized all the 7 families' dirtiest secrets and everything that had to do with the Blood Veil and the Blood Moon and the competition that takes place every generation. So the 7 families, they were all fighting over this wellspring of high magic. Now, high magic in this world is very, very rare. It is a rare commodity. In fact, I think all the high magic wellsprings are pretty much kaput, right? But no, not in the town of Ilvernath. Here, what happens is the 7 families centuries ago decided, okay, we're not getting anywhere fighting each other for this wellspring. So let's create a curse. And they create this curse that marks 7 individuals who have to compete in this red magical dome right outside of the town of Ilvernath, where there are 7 locations. 7 locations that all have different defenses and different traps, as well as 7 mysterious relics that will drop down whenever. So these are kind of like the weapons of the, I guess you get the Hunger Games, when they go to the cornucopia, except whenever something falls, it's like, shit, that's the cornucopia. Let's run to it. Let's try to get this. Did I just? Oh, I think I just dropped my Millennium Falcon. But, they have to go, get this one item. And they're all different. You've got the sword, you've got the cloak. They're all different, each of these items. Right? So it's a competition. And basically, it's survive or die. And there's only going to be one survivor at the end of this. And it happens every single generation. 7 families, they pick someone. And they're like, okay, you're going to be competing for that family. Don't lose. Whoever wins, they get control of the wellspring of high magic. They get access to that high magic for a whole other generation until the next Blood Moon. And the competition starts all over again. So it was really interesting, to see all of those elements come to life. The history of the locations, the history of the curse, the fact that every chapter does start here. So 1, you have the map. I love a good map in a story. And it does, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yes, all 7 of the magical locations are here. And it's almost like a pentagram, almost, the way it's stylized. And I'm sure that was important because it's a curse. And it's supposed to look like that on purpose because that's how you do curses. That's how you need that symbol, those points, in order to do a curse. Now, every chapter starts with a line from the supposed book that was published as well. I like that. It gives you a little bit more history and a little bit more context as to who these characters are and the families that they come from. And I really do think, you know, with the pacing and the story evolution, you really are seeing all of those pieces, you know, the mystery and the magic behind the items, and the locations, and how magic works in this story. You're seeing it all come together in order to build up this competition. And I really do think it is structurally sound. The pacing is phenomenal. I mean, that tension, it is so incredibly fast. I mean, it just grips you. But one of the things that also really just grips you when you're reading it is the characterization, because at the end of the day, it follows 4 different perspectives, and it is a character-driven story. Like I said, every chapter begins with a segment, right, from that book. So you're seeing how that plays into the character's history. And you have some of these characters, like I don't want to name names because I don't want to spoil it. Basically, each and every one of them was raised to be the competitor. They were raised to be the competitor. So they were basically being raised for slaughter. But, well, not all of them. They were all raised, except for one, to be a survivor, to win. Now there's one family that's kind of given up. They're like one of the lowest of the families, and they're like, there's no chance in us winning anyway, so why even bother trying? But they pick their, competitor, and he's just like, I'm going to show you guys. I'm not as weak as you think I am. I'm going to show everyone that our name is one that should be feared. They are raised to be villains. It's not like, oh, they do some shady stuff. Like, no, they are raised to be villains. Everyone. And you see it within those historical contexts. But you also see how that affects the characters themselves. Because as you're reading, you're like, they don't want to be the villains. They don't want to be in this competition. They don't want to, like, kill someone and have that mar their soul. They don't want to die themselves. It is a state of survival for them, and you feel for them because, yes, some of them want something, they want to prove themselves, but at the core, they all just want to survive. No one wants to die, So you really do feel for these characters, and you see the layers and complexity of them as especially when they're forming the alliance and they start to decipher, hey, this is nothing but a giant curse. Let's see if we can break it. So they're trying to break this curse now. And I think that that's really interesting because you're seeing more and more of how they want to break out of this mold that they were told they have to fit. Like, you have to be the villain. And some of them are just like, well, really don't want to. And then some of them, they are pushed to their limits. Like, some of these characters are pushed to the limits. Like, you made me a monster. I will give you something to fear. Oh, but those moments are so good. They were really good. It's just a lot of layering and complexity when it comes to the characterization. And I really do like that because you get to see that character growth. You get to see these characters push and pull against who they want to be and who they are forced to be in this competition. And then it's just freaking amazing, honestly. It really is. I know. I think you can kind of tell. Like, I'm super animated about this. I'm super in love with this. This is great. I really did love it. I really did enjoy the storytelling. I thought it was great. There's really nothing I have to complain about this book. I mean, I received this book as an ARC from the publisher. And then I went ahead and bought the book. I mean, I got the book for free. Why would I go? Because I loved it. because I needed it on my bookcase, because I need to read book 2 the moment it comes out. I mean, that's just where I'm at with that. That is what I wanted to do, you know, to support the author, the authors, because I loved the book so much. I went ahead and I bought it. Like, I didn't have to. I had an advanced reader's copy that was free. I went ahead and I gave the ARC to my coworkers at work, and then I just went to the bookcase, because I work at a bookstore. I went to the bookshelf, picked up the book, and I bought it. It was mine now. It's mine. It was so good. And it really does live up to that hype of the Hunger Games and Triwizard Tournament. I mean, you definitely see it in the storytelling, and it's so absolutely great. The atmosphere is great. The pacing, the tension, the characterization, character development, character dynamics. I mean, I have nothing bad to say about this book. It was so good. It was absolutely freaking spectacular. And I have to give it 5 stars. Freaking amazing. Freaking loved it. So, on that note, I hope you all will support these 2 authors by reading it, purchasing it from your local bookseller and online book retailer. Book 2 is slated to come out soon in a couple months. I'm so excited. All Our Demise is what it's called. And yo, I'm so excited for it. Especially after the ending, oh my god. I need to read book 2 like now. It was so good. But please support the author by purchasing the book from your local bookseller or online book retailer. I just ask that you do not purchase the book off of Amazon, because it does undercut the amount of profit the authors actually make from an Amazon sale, since they do get the books at a discount from the publisher. And on that note, I hope you all continue to support me here by liking this video, subscribing to my channel, and sharing it with all your book-loving friends. Read this book. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and as always, happy reading.